Okay, let's just do a quick introduction here. Thank you everybody for joining. We have over 20 attendees on for this webinar today. We're very excited about today's webinar, Trends in Sustainability Reporting. We have Nikos Avlonas and Donna Schweitzer joining us today, and it's quite an exciting webinar. I'm very excited about the topic. Just a quick introduction to the Cyber Chapter. If you haven't been part of this, anything that the Cyber Chapter has been doing, we are an Alliance of Hazardous Materials Professional virtual chapter, a way to participate in connecting with people and staying abreast of everything that's going on in our hazardous waste, hazardous materials, sustainability, and all that good stuff, our community, virtually. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the Cyber Chapter, we do have a website, ahmpcyber.org, if you want to take a look at that. I think we may have some board or some Cyber Chapter members on today, since this is our January meeting. Just want to highlight, these are our current board members, and we have 3 new board members, so we're excited to have that. We have lots of events coming up in January and February. If you're interested in seeing what our events are, you can certainly log on again to our website and click the events tab. We have a whole list of events that you can register for. We're also on AHMP's website. You're welcome to, if you're an AHMP member, you can also join the Cyber Chapter group, and we keep our calendar and do some blog entries on that as well. We're also supporting the AHMP Young Professionals. So if you're a young professional, 40-ish and under, we're trying to just build that base of attendees at the AHMP national office level. So if you'd like to participate with us there, again, you can email us and we'll get you connected with the right people. We have had some bylaws change. They were sent out to be approved by the membership in October, and we have had them approved. The Cyber Chapter is growing in leaps and bounds, so we needed some more directors and some more hands on deck to help us manage the webinars, and we were able to get 3 new directors. So our election results were announced this month, and we have retained our secretary, Becky Neal, and we have retained 2 directors and added 3 more directors. So we're very excited about that. So today during this meeting, if we could just ask that you mute your phone. I may have muted you, so if you want to talk or add something in the chat, please do so. I will be monitoring the chat if you have a question or you'd like to be unmuted. I think that Donna and Nikos are willing to take questions throughout the presentation. So just send me a little note or interrupt them in a pause, and we'll get your questions answered. It's always nice to have an interactive audience. So the speaker introductions here are, it's quite an honor to be able to have these two individuals on our call today and on our technical seminar here. Nikos Avlonas, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but he's the founder and president of a very exciting organization regarding sustainability. I jumped on the website to see what it was all about, and I got all excited myself. Something that I think the industry has really been needing and starving for. I'm so excited to see that you're out there and existing. You have a wonderful resume, and we're excited to hear from you. Yes, we have another speaker also with Nikos is Donna Schweitzer, and she is also a woman-owned business owner and is also involved in environmental health and safety regulatory management. Lots of experience there too, and they are going to talk to you today about trends in sustainability reporting. Very excited to hear about that. And so without further ado, I am just going to pass the presenter over to Nikos, and they can get started.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I mean, with Donna, we are so excited to be all with you. We worked with Donna together in the field of sustainability the last years, and Donna is going to get our presentation.
Okay, welcome, fellow CHMMs. I also am a member of the chapter of the AHMP, and this is actually a joint meeting, so welcome everybody. I appreciate your time. So the first I'm going to get started with why sustainability reporting is the most important trend in America, and I'm going to talk a little bit about CSE. Go ahead, Nikos, thanks. I have recently become affiliated with CSE, and although we're two different businesses, we're kind of in this together. And CSE is active in 30 countries around the globe. CSE provides training in sustainable solutions globally and competitively. They are a partner with GRI, which is the Global Reporting Initiative, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about sustainability reporting. They're a training partner and a community member of GRI. The CSE has a certified sustainable practitioner program, and that is certified by a third party, CMI, which is similar to how IHMM is run. So the third party manages how the certified sustainability program works and is managed. They've also had some very interesting distinctions in these past few years. The Silicon Valley Community Foundation issued an award to Nikos, or the Sustainability Academy, which I'll talk a little bit more as we go forward in the presentation. They're saying that the Sustainability Academy is a model of corporate responsibility, and CSE's recent research was featured in Forbes lately. So if you want to move ahead. We offer many services related to sustainability, as you can see here, and today we're focusing mainly on sustainability reporting and then education, whether it be online education or group trainings for sustainability professionals. Okay. So related to the Certified Sustainability Practitioner Program, and the CSR stands for Corporate Social Responsibility, which is another way that the globe addresses sustainability. So CSE runs this program, and they've been doing it for 10 years. Congratulations on the anniversary. This program has been held in 55 countries and 5 continents. So it's well participated in throughout the globe. There's over 1,400 certified practitioners, and I'm proud to say that I am recently one of those. Related to the Fortune 500 companies, 90% of those have sustainability and corporate responsibility directors that have attended this program throughout the years. So there is significant influence in business performance through the Certified Sustainability Practitioner Program, and we're also able to influence leaders from governmental organizations around the globe. If you see here, like NASA and the U.S. Postal Service and Government of Canada, they have attended some of these training programs as well, or the CSR program. So I'm going to talk a little bit about sustainable development now. There are many, many definitions of what sustainable development is. In 1987, the Brundtland Report, there was the World Council on Development developed a report from their meetings, and they defined sustainable development as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And I don't know if you've heard that sustainability is also called the triple bottom line, and I think that this, the triple bottom line being people, profits, and planet. And this definition, in my opinion, addresses all of those. Development means, profits and people. Companies need to be moving forward. It's not about what we can reduce, what we can eliminate, but it's more about how can we move forward and meet our needs, and then also without compromising the future. So that goes into taking care of the planet and also taking care of our people. And as you'll see later on, Nikos will talk about how sustainability and financial performance is highly correlated, and that's because people are, as they're implementing sustainability programs, they're looking at their stakeholders and what's meaningful to their stakeholders and how they're going to meet their business goals while making sustainable decisions. And when you're keeping your stakeholders and your business goals in mind, you're able to address some of these issues that are in the blue boxes here. You're minimizing risks, you're perhaps getting social recognition, you are maintaining your environmental and social license to operate. And then there are some other benefits that sustainability can provide your company. There could be new markets because of innovations, and also investors are now looking at sustainability reports in their decisions to invest in different companies. Okay, do you want to move forward? Next slide, please. So what is a sustainability report? And here is a pictorial of that triple bottom line that I was talking about. Sustainability reporting is a non-financial report as well as a financial report that provides meaningful, comprehensive view of the position and performance of the company. So it's a document that shows what's important to the company, what kinds of programs they're working on, and how they're performing against those goals. More than 100 companies in the U.S. publish a sustainability report on an annual basis. And I'm wondering, you know, if you want to do a show of hands on the on your little toolbox, if you want to show how many of your companies are reporting on or issuing a sustainability report. And then most influential.
That's a great question, and I don't want to interrupt you, but if our colleagues and participants of this webinar can answer through our chat board, it would be great.
Yes, I think you can raise your hand through the poll or the chat. Under polls, you can just click your hand, and that will question. That's great.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, I can't see the results, so if in a couple of minutes you want to jump in with how many people online are either have reported sustainability report or have issued sustainability reports or are in the process, that would be great.
Okay, I think they're going to have to put it in the chat function because I think I need to do a poll ahead of time before I create the meeting.
Okay.
So it's a self-learning curve.
Okay,
so just post in the chat if your company
just put a chat, yeah, put it, all right. And we're also finding that most influential companies in the U.S. are publishing sustainability reports, and there have been organizations that say that it's absolutely critical for companies to be issuing sustainability reports. Next slide.
Yes, sure.
And the old adage, my favorite, is if it doesn't get measured, it doesn't get done. And that is one of the beautiful things about sustainability reporting, is it's a transparent document that is accessible to stakeholders and shareholders that show what you're going to be measuring and what changes you're making based on what those measurements are. So, Sarah, did you get any response on the number of reports?
It looks like I have 2 people who are in companies that have sustainability reports.
Great.
Or have heard of them.
That's great.
So I think that's the end for my introduction. If you want to carry on, Nikos.
Yes, great job, Donna. Thank you for the great introduction and joining CSE. We work with affiliates like Donna around the globe, and we make sustainability happen. This is our job the last 14 years of operations, And of course, one of the most important tools that we do on an annual basis is sustainability research. So every year we do sustainability research about sustainability reporting trends. And guess what? Sustainability reporting is one of the most important elements. Because through sustainability reporting, you may be able to see the progress of organizations, you may be able to see their commitments to sustainability, environmental performance, social performance versus economic performance. So Donna made a great introduction into sustainability. A lot of people believe that sustainability is about environment only. They're wrong. Some other people believe that CSR or corporate social responsibility is about philanthropy. It's wrong too. Sustainability is a more holistic approach, and it has to do with a triple bottom line approach. It's about environment, society, employees, governance, and of course the economic value it has been generated. So there is a more holistic approach on sustainability than most of the executives or business professionals believe. And of course, we are in the beginning of this process for many organizations. As Donna shared with you, we have over 1,000 companies in the United States that they produce on an annual basis sustainability report. And the main reason for that is because the investors want to see what the organizations they invest are doing on sustainability. Also, clients wants to be convinced that they work for a sustainable organization. Also, the consumers wants to feel sure that there are green initiatives and the environment is being taken care. So there are many different drivers related to sustainability. And with that, let's take a look to our research. We had the findings last October. So the objective of this research was to identify links between sustainability and financial results, sustainability practices, but we also move on to other trends like blockchain, artificial intelligence. We try to identify which sectors are most active in sustainability reporting, but also what are the standards and guidelines used for sustainability. Overall, we analyzed 642 unique sustainability reports published by private and governmental organizations in North America. But of course, we had combined results from US and Canada. And these are the areas, as you may see in this slide, were mostly investigated. And we are very excited to say that sustainability reporting today is one of the most important trends in North America. We have a 20% increase every year in sustainability reporting, so more and more organizations, and not necessarily Fortune 500 firms, are heavily involved in the field of sustainability. So we have seen medium-sized firms, we have seen federal government organizations, we have seen NGOs that are heavily involved in the field of sustainability. As you're going to find out, and as Donna mentioned, the GRI standards are the most important standards for disclosed information related to non-financial, environmental, and social performance. So these standards are used across 60 countries around the globe. There are already 46,000 reports that organizations that they use these standards. And there are over 30 stock exchanges around the world that also they use these GRI standards. But also the investors and other stakeholders want to see credible standards like the GRI standards used by organizations. Because let's be honest here, everybody could communicate a fantastic performance on sustainability, but when this is standardized according to particular guidelines, you can have a benchmark and you can see which organization is doing better comparing apples with apples and oranges with oranges. And with that, we're going to move on more in depth into sustainability. one of the most important trends the last 3 years are the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. These goals has been introduced in 2016 for the first time, and they're replacing the Sustainable Millennium Goals. The objectives of these goals is to improve the well-being of the planet, environmentally and socially, by 2030. So we have seen 17 very impressive goals where most organizations are now willing to do more about sustainability and meet the criteria of these goals. But also we have many governments or countries that are moving into the reporting and try to show their progress on sustainability towards these 17 goals. So these goals is a framework for communicating your achievements in sustainable development, and right now in the field of sustainability is one of the most I would say most important trends as we speak. So can I ask you, have you heard about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals so far? And Sarah, would you like to help us and see if we have any replies on that?
Absolutely. Let's see. So I had Gary Mulder said that he has seen a sustainability report.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So could you please highlight if you ever have heard the term United Nations Sustainable Development Goals so far?
Sure. I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah, if you move on downtown New York City, you're going to find out that the whole building of Pfizer is one of the top 5 pharmaceuticals in the globe. The whole building of Pfizer downtown New York City has the colors of the 17th colors of the 17th Sustainable Development Goals. So it's really excited to be there. So if you have a time, or if you're based in New York City, just go there or just Google United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and you're going to find over 1 million or more articles, press releases, commitments, and there are hundreds of thousands of organizations that they make openly committed to their Sustainable Development Goals. So it's a huge, huge global initiative right now in the field of sustainability. So if you have heard enough about that, I strongly recommend you to move on to the website of Sustainable Development and take more in depth there. All right, and with that, let's share with you what was one of the most important findings. So the first thing is that economic growth can be linked to sustainability performance. So the more sustainable is an organization, the most likely to have long-term good financial results or improving their financial results. So we have researched a lot into this space, and we have found out a very strong link between financial performance and sustainability performance. The second trend is that the percentage of top 10 companies per sector, based on their revenues, they already publish sustainability report. So 100% of the healthcare products, 90% of the automotive industry, 80% for food and beverage, 80% for energy, 80% for chemicals, and 80% of financial services. So the vast majority of the top 10 companies in terms of revenues in every important sector around the globe already publish annually sustainability report. And I believe this is impressive because these companies are really, really successful companies. They're the leading companies per sector. Another important trend that we have identified was the AI. AI is gaining more and more followers in many different applications and many different sectors, but also we have AI in sustainability solutions. So we have seen more and more applications that relates AI with sustainability. So happily, in the next coming years, you're going to see more solutions in climate change, more solutions in waste management, and many other areas, and hopefully it's going to have better solutions. And who knows, perhaps we're going to be able to improve our behavior and help us improve our environmental performance. Also, blockchain also change the way business transactions take place. There's a Walmart initiative right now where organizations can trace the whole supply chain, and this is a great way for creating transparency to consumers and be able to identify, what is happening between the production of the product. Are they using sustainable materials? What is happening out there? So blockchain is one of the most significant trends in sustainability. Another trend is the line in the company. They seek external assurance. So in the past, we have seen companies that they wanted to verify their information and their data on sustainability reporting. But the last years, we have seen decline into this trend. Also, another important finding is that most active sectors in sustainability are the financial services, energy utilities, food and beverage, and healthcare products together with mining. So we have seen that these sectors are much more active in sustainability than any other sector. And guess what? Why it's happening is because all these companies, they get a lot of stakeholder pressures. Finally, a few more trends. Most of the companies that publish sustainability reports, and you already know that, are larger multinational enterprises, although we have seen the last years smaller and medium-sized enterprises, but they're also willing to do more on sustainability and therefore publish a sustainability report. Last trend is that the GRI standards that I have referred before are the most dominant guidelines for sustainability. So a lot of organizations, they use these guidelines as a driver. If you want to learn more about that, you can Google globalreporting.org and you can find out more. It's publicly available to everybody, and that's the good news. But also, another and the last important factor is that we have a 124% increase in the number of companies that they have committed to sustainable development goals since 2017. So only in a year, we have more than 120% increase in organizations that they want to commit towards sustainable development. So it's very evident that sustainability, it's a very important trend, and sustainability report, it's a great tool to show your commitment towards sustainability. In this slide, you're going to find out what are the examples of top 10 companies per sector in healthcare products, automotive, energy, chemicals, technology, financial services, real estate, food and beverage, mining, and retailers. So as you're going to find, between 70 and 80% of the top 10 companies in terms of revenues, they have sustainability commitments and they publish annual sustainability report. So this is a very important fact that shows the dynamics in sustainability and in sustainability reporting. But now let's go more in depth into sustainability and financial results. In our research, we have identified strong correlation between sustainability initiatives, a sustainability plan, and financial results. So what we have done is that we have used the CSR Hub, which are one of the most important ratings in the globe on sustainability information. CSR Hub is rate the companies according to sustainability performance. It has over 9,000 organizations around the globe that they use CSR Hub as a rating. agency. So what we did is that we tried to identify organizations that they had very high score in the CSR Hub ratings, which are independent ratings, and they also have a great sustainability, great financial performance the last 2 or 3 years. And then we create the links and we identify where the correlations are. And the correlations, as you're going to find, help us to create a framework. This is, as we call it, the Return on Sustainability Framework. And it's a framework that it can be available and you can use it in order to find out, it's a checklist where you can use it and find out if your sustainability plan, if you have any, of course, is really support your financial performance. But also you can find out what you may do on sustainability in order to improve your financial performance. So it works in both ways. So this framework has a checklist with the minimum requirements, preferred tools and outcomes, and then as the final stage, return on sustainability outcomes. So it's a guiding framework of what needs to be done in order to help you improve your financial results. Of course, it is a generic framework, cannot go into the details, cannot provide very specific guidance, because as you are aware, it's an outcome of our research, but it can provide a very general framework what needs to be done if you use it. And with that, I'm going to leave Donna to present the last slides.
Thanks, Nikos. So as kind of the closing thought here, I just wanted to introduce you to CSE's Sustainability Academy. And all of these programs can be found on CSE's website. And forgive me, I'm not sure if that's on the last page there, but if not, I'll go through that their website. But CSE offers online certificates for sustainability reporting, for carbon reduction strategy, and for environmental, social, and governance performance. They also offer online diplomas, one for social entrepreneurship and the other one for corporate sustainability. And then they also offer some introduction to topics such as social impact assessments and social return on investment. That's what that SROI stands for. And then the GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation, which is really an EU standard about how you're managing your data. So these are all online trainings that are available to you. And they can also, if online training doesn't sound, well, I mean, everybody here is a proponent of online training since that's what we're doing right now, but if there's an opportunity that you want to have offline training and have someone, you know, come into your organization and do some training, CSE can also make that happen for you as well on these topics. Is there anything else you wanted to say on this?
No, yeah, that's great. I want to share with you that sustainability is a very big topic and has a lot in depth. So somebody who wants to get started, I think it's great to get the online diploma on corporate sustainability, which is all the basic information you need to know. If you want to be an entrepreneur, then it's great to get the online diploma on social entrepreneurship and see how you can create an organization with an impact and so on. So it depends on what is your goals and what you want to achieve. So we have general trainings, but also more specialized trainings.
Also, the next Certified Sustainability Practitioner program is going to be held in Atlanta in February. So if you're interested in more information about that, please send an email to the contact information there. I believe that the next time it's in the U.S. is later in the summer, and that's in New York City.
Yes, it's in June 6th. You're right, Donna, in New York City.
Right.
This training is always fully booked, so if you want to be there, just prepare to get registered very, very soon.
Right. I just wanted to give my own personal thoughts about this. I attended this program last summer, and it was a really great experience. It's a very small group. Well, there's about 15 to 20 professionals, all with the same goal, is learning about sustainability and figuring out how they can implement sustainability within their work life. And there's great breakout sessions, and you do a lot of networking with people, and it was a really, really excellent experience. So, little plug there.
Great. So thank you for your time. We hope you have enjoyed our presentation and you have been able to learn more sustainability. Of course, that was a very short presentation. It's a huge topic, unlimited topic, I have to say. I'm learning every day, even if I'm in this field the last 20 years. It's a huge learning process here. But I would like to wish all of you a happy sustainability journey, and we are open to answer any questions you may have.
Excellent. Let me open up the lines here and just unmute everybody and see if there is anybody that has like to speak. So I've unmuted your line, but if you want to speak, you need to also unmute under the attendees tab, and then click your microphone to unmute yourself. And while we're waiting for any of those questions, I have a few comments myself. The first thing that came to my mind is that in my experience with environmental health and safety, we have always been a financial drag on businesses. And to hear that looking into sustainability, which includes, I believe, environmental health and safety risk management, that does improve a financial bottom line is a wonderful thing to be able to take back to management and your corporate leadership to say, look, we're no longer a drag on you. You can do this and it will improve your bottom line. And as a massive takeaway, that's one thing I will be taking away from this presentation. I love it.
Great, Sarah. I think that's a great lesson. I mean, we have seen a lot of organizations that they use sustainability as a risk management tool, but also we have seen a lot of organizations that they use sustainability as a great opportunity tool. So you can use it in many different ways, and of course it's great to start with the bottom line and reduce your risk.
Okay, is there anybody that would like to make a comment?
Hi, Sarah. This is Gary Mulder in Reading.
Hi, Gary.
I sometimes feel like the Department of No, so I know how you feel. When people come to us and ask us for information, usually we tell them what they can't do, but this sounds like a program, and we're starting to see more of the larger suppliers requiring this type of information. Sustainability, how does your company, environmental, regulatory, conflict minerals, I mean, you name it, and we see questionnaires from big and smaller companies that are requiring us to have this in order to do business with them. So it is a positive step forward to be able to go to your senior management and say, if we can be more sustainable and show other companies we can be more lucrative in our business.
Gary, which company are you working with, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm working with Brentag Northeast.
Okay.
We're a chemical distributor.
Chemical distributor, yes. Okay, excellent.
Yes, Terry, chemical sector is one of the most mature sectors in the field of sustainability for all the reasons we all know about, and mainly because of the accidents in the past and stakeholder pressures. So it's one of the sectors that really the standards are pretty high, and this is the main reason why you're gonna gain and you're gonna get more and more pressures, from organizations to the whole supply chain, top down, to do more on sustainability. This is a continuous process, never stops, and the standards are always going to be higher and higher. This is what we have seen the last 10 years working for the chemical sector.
Hello, this is Mark Hughes with Church and Dwight. I have a question on, from your research, when you're looking at companies that are reporting on the SDGs, how are they doing that? Are they reporting on all 17? Are they reporting on initiatives in select ones? I mean, how has that been done?
Yes, that's a great question, by the way. In the beginning, the company, and I'm talking about the last 2 years because this is something brand new, in the companies, they felt that they have to address all the 17 goals, and that was happened because they didn't have a good understanding of what is the Sustainable Development Goals. So they wanted to show off how good they are in all the goals. Later on, and as we move on to more knowledge and as we distribute more knowledge in the field of sustainability through our trainings, they have identified that, well, not all the goals are relevant to our business. So we need to concentrate to these goals that are more material to our business. So we advise the companies to only report and only concentrate to those goals that are relevant to their business. And that's now most mature companies are doing.
Okay, so then through the lens of materiality, right? That's
exactly.
Okay,
you need to do materiality assessment first, and then at that stage address what are your impacts and what are the links with Sustainable Development Goals. At this stage is the right stage before you do reporting.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, are there any other questions for Nikos and Donna at this time? If not, I have one, so I'll just pause for a minute, please. I was just wondering if you have any knowledge of any of U.S. governments. You mentioned Canada, but is the U.S. government doing any of this sustainability reporting? Department of Defense or Department of Energy? Have you seen any of that?
Yes, I mean, well, NASA is U.S. government, right? They do
Yes.
reporting the last 4 years. U.S. Post Office is a government, and they do sustainability report the last year. So there are a few government agencies that they do sustainability report the last years.
Very cool. That's good to know.
Yes, and we work with them, and we help them to do more and more. Of course, it's not private sector. They have their own guidelines, as you are aware, but also there are some good leaders in these organizations that they try to do the extra mile and do more than only compliance.
Fantastic. I would definitely encourage everyone to go and check out the website, as I did. The slide that Donna showed was just a tiny snippet of information about what's available on there. The online courses and the future face-to-face courses are all listed on there. So it's CSE.net-org. That's the website?
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. And just an extra big, huge thanks out to Donna for reaching out to the Cyber chapter so that we could partner with the Philadelphia chapter and do this joint meeting. It was a wonderful, wonderful information and experience for us. So thank you very much for reaching out to us. And when we would like to offer to Nikos and Donna both for presenting today an annual membership to the Cyber chapter, so you will be able to attend any of our future webinars at no charge. And that's our gift for presenting to us today.